Hey everyone, this is Kabi, and today we gonna watch the 2v2 game with the blue team featuring Longway, one of the guys who share a lot of his games in our Discord channel, and his opponent White Unicorn, one of the oldest players, not in terms of the actual age of course, but in the gaming age, because Unicorn joined the WAR Legends beta test pretty much on the first day, I believe, so he witnessed a lot of stuff and then later even joined the developers team. Yep, so he's now sitting somewhere around 2k rating, so he's very under-leveled against all the other guys in the lobby, because all the other guys in the lobby sit at 399, so at the very top of the Captain League. And their opponents in the red team are Gansai, one of the notable players who does really good, or rather did really well, in the community tournament that Russian casters held. And his teammate is, well, you are supposed to pronounce this as Zdarova, and that just means kinda hi in Russian. And previously known as Aguzarova. It just kinda looks similar and sounds similar. Entirely different meaning, because Aguzarova is the surname of the Russian singer, and this is just the word, kinda. But anyway, well, probably the the most correct translation would be howdis, not really hi, but howdis. Yep, but it's just Starova. Guys in the community pretty much still call him Aguzarova. I'm not sure what does he personally prefer, to be honest. But anyway, he won a couple of community tournaments as well, and this guy has a very good levels of his units, and he plays decently, so he's a good player. I'm not sure that he plays 100% of his capabilities all the time, but I can safely say he's better than me, and probably all the guys are better than me. I'm not sure about Longway, because we never played against each other. He levels up way too quick, so I never played against him. But anyway, what we see is all the guys adding the... Oh, not really all the guys adding the fleet, right? So Gansai does not. He rather plays Paladin with the helicopters, but Longway adds shipyard, and Unicorn and Zdarova, all the guys at shipyards. And keep trading with a swordsman. For some reason we don't get that battle recap panel. Probably time has passed for it. They attack us. We didn't really tune it, so one of our senior devs just randomly made this fight recap panel on holidays, I think. He used a few evenings of work and randomly configured it, and it works kinda nice. It's kind of fine, so we don't really tune it. Yeah, by the way, in my local build, for some reason we have these baby knights. I don't know why is that. Maybe I made some mistake doing the high quality graphic. I tuned the graphics for this record, and maybe I made a mistake, I'm not sure. But don't mind that. I think you don't have it in the actual build. But if you do have it in the actual build, please report it. In the settings there is a chat with the support, so you're supposed to let us know if something goes wrong like this, because this is obviously not correct. But anyway, copters not only participate in the fights, but they also harass the Longway base. And the only stuff Longway has against air is Baron. Baron is a good stuff to have though. Yep, and in the meantime, he also wouldn't let Gansai safely mine. And Longway also has his own factory, so he has copters too. What about Unicorn and Rova? Yep, it seems that the red team control the left well and the blue team control the right one. I wonder how Longway decided not to play the fleet. But yep, he just moves away his wood mining from this position, and it seems that the fleet isn't really capable of doing much. Well, by the way, guys, if you play this map in 2v2, please... Okay, what I was about to say, please let us know if the base positions are good now. Especially these top positions, I'm not sure about this. It still feels to me like the base is very far from C. You can't really do much from C. I don't like it, I think. Probably we need to put more work into base placing. Yeah, but then we have Unicorn. He's really the princess lover. And princess doesn't feel to me like she did really well. Okay, the red player approaches with the 4 ships against 3. Unicorn played the shipyard 2, by the way, so he was about to level it up to Caravel. I'm not sure if it's even called that in English, but I suppose. 11th ship anyway. Yeah, Baby Knights are about to seize the mid-chest. Starova decided to use the defense scroll, not sure why he only added on the 2 ships. Doesn't really sound like a good play to me. Yep, but in the meantime, Longway decided to go the tier 2 ships too, because they can hit this from C. Yep, so the first level ships cannot. Well, now that I think about the tier 2 ships, I'm starting to think that probably it is kinda okay, this position, which is similar to this position almost. So they can harass the wood mining line, and then if you get a tier 2 ships, you can also harass the gold mining line, which is already something. In the meantime, Gansai decided to put a pressure on the Longway. Doesn't really work. Well, it could have worked if they both would apply all the efforts on the attacking, but Gansai, instead of that, decided to go for White Unicorn's base. Unic uses the gravity scroll with a meteorite from the enemy. That's now an interesting turn. All the copters obviously got destroyed. And since the red team splitted the forces, probably the blue team is about to safely block this. Yep. 3 sloops can't really do much. So the sloop can only be the starting phase of the dominating the sea. But you can't really drop sea because of the Well of Mana, right? So I don't know, maybe it is fine. If you play this map already, then please share your opinion in the comments. It would be interesting to read in a week or so when more guys read in the comments. We don't always kinda do all the stuff you suggest, but of course, we are still interested. How do you guys perceive the things we add? How does it look to you?
Resources collected.
The decision, the actual decisions doesn't always have to be what you kinda can think of, but it is at least highlight the problems. Sometimes, at least. Well, so the blue team pretty much pressed back to their bases, lost all the control they used to have, but what I rather like about the blue team position is that they only have 2 ships, but at the same time red team has 4 ships, so invested more supply to that. They also use the meteorite. All the paladins use the domes, so try to spot who's whose. And Long Way tries to help his mate. Unicorn, as usually, uses a lot of not meta stuff, so he plays Ballista. Well, Ballista is actually quite good against this kind of stuff, I think. So even though Ballista got killed, but in the meantime my bikers were doing that, the rest of the army pretty much dealt with the rest of the red army. So the blue team successfully defended. Unicorn also has a lot of guardsmen. Well, active ability of Baron would pretty much always be a mistake in such situation. You don't really even want to use the active ability against units. Mostly it works against buildings. It can work sometimes against units, but I think you rather not use it against army on the march.
The point is captured.
Yeah, blue team get 1 watchtower back. Ship size still here, applying some damage. Hitting the building is not the best decision, of course. If you don't want to micro, you probably want to just move Caravel here. It is interesting that it says me to send sends a signal to allies, even though I'm an ops. Yeah, not too important, just the funny stuff. This observer interface is still a utility stuff. We didn't really polish it. Alright. I think it was yet another bad active ability of Bombardier. But anyway, Ballista tried its best. Not really achieving, I think. Orange Paladin back in business. Red Paladin. All the Paladins use the dome again. Orange probably doesn't have his dome ready yet. And here we have another Caravel, which is not smart enough either, so hits the building.
Base is under attack. Forces are under attack.
Well, Bombardier or Ballista would be a solution to this. Kansai decided to go for the meteorite, but meteorite is not strong enough. Oh, that's somewhat a scroll! 4 workers with 1 hit. You can call it a strike if you like play bowling.
Forces are under attack.
Well, now it's nothing to hit anymore, apart from the main building, so hitting the main building is kind of fine now. Yeah, Bombardier is not even that good against Caravel, because as all the other tier 1 heroes, it's vulnerable to the magic damage, which Caravel did. So, Bombardier really receives a lot of damage out of that ship. Yeah, probably the right the summoning stone goes to the red team,
Forces are under attack.
and Longway is about to have a hard time defending the elemental. Poor farm! We're still alive up to this moment. Not anymore though. Starova does a great job harassing Unicorn's base. I wonder how Unicorn does not have a ballista here,
Forces are under attack.
where it's the most required. But he's about to get one now. Yep, and here we see a lot of bikers. Yet another bad activability. All goes to the dome. Only deals half damage to the dome. We added the dome HP indication, as you probably have noticed. That blue stripe. Yeah, Elemental kills two buildings. Killed two buildings already. Paladin is about to finish it off finally. Goes for the Bombardier. Well, is Longway even about to defend this? It seems like that. Yeah, probably this ballista finally became a solution to the caravan. Well, I probably would not add another caravel if I was Starova.
Forces are under attack.
Artillery tower has been built to secure the elemental, but you can even leave it there, because why not? Oh, two meteorites at the same time! Both of the players decided to go for it. Well, they obviously don't play in the voice chat, so they just kinda cooperate with... I mean, with this stuff, right? Allied markers, what we call it, the markers. The signals, team signals, you can call it that also.
Forces are under attack.
We still don't have a special order for the scroll. We didn't find a good solution for the scroll request, because kinda, what do you want to say?
Forces under attack.
Hit a scroll here? I'm not sure. What if all the team hits it at the same time? So we just rather can send like watch or care, right?
Hero was killed.
So if you think that your opponent has a ring of fire ready and there is a lot of skeleton archers, you can kind of just send, hey, watch here. So they can think of, like, what if I use a scroll? Maybe that's a good idea, who knows? Yeah, but we still may add it later on. It was again just a first approach to the team markers. Dogs say hi in the background. A couple of corgis I have. They love to protect the place they live in. As a majority of dogs though, nothing really special here. So anyway, Paladin and the bikers
The point is
for
captured.
Starova. The red team look to me like they're kind of bored that they can't finish the game because they feel like they are winning from the beginning, but some things keep going wrong. Now Unicorn with his ballista, annoying stuff. Two ballista go down, long way, able to retreat with the bikers, using the protection scroll for them. Ballista from the long range keeps shooting. Well, doesn't really deal a great damage to the bikers, no?
Base is under attack.
Do bikers even have a good... what do we call it? Resistance to the piercing damage. It seemed like that. They have a good resistance to it. Well, maybe Unicorn just had his ballistas under level.
Killed.
Anyway,
Chest found.
Now Strova uses a protection scroll, ships trying to do things again. Two ballista will obviously kill. Caravel probably it would have been better to put its ballista back, or at least repair it. Unicorn doesn't do either of that. He misclicked. Repair on the farm, it seems. Okay, no, he does the job done.
Forces are under attack.
And here, another caravel keeps striking on these poor castle. By the way, sound is late for this strike for some reason. But yeah, we're gonna do the revision about the sound soon. Probably will fix that in the process. Yeah, ballista just keep striking the position, but caravel now takes another place, so Unicorn needs to tune it to this new position. Yeah, caravel really kills a lot of workers, it seems. Thanks to the splash damage. The water explosions look so fancy, I love it. Well, we have a fancy graphics, fancy visuals, right? That's why you guys probably play this game and love this game.
Resources collected.
Same as me, nothing special here. It's a great pleasure to have the ability to invest this much into the visuals of the mobile game. As you of course know, a lot of companies doesn't have these capabilities, so they stick to the easier graphics, easier gameplay.
Forces are under attack.
Keep it simple.
The summoning stone appeared.
Red team
Base is under
takes Elemental once more, once again. Gansai doesn't have a greatest time though. Keeps playing with a sheer
Forces are under attack.
a sheer helicopter, but he doesn't have a lot of money to work with because of these ships. They loot the chest though, chests, but it's not enough it seems. Yeah, when it all comes down to Zdorova's plays, Zdorova's moves. So he has to push Unicorn with ships and at the same time he has to push Longway with a ground army, but even if you are the greatest player, it's hard to play 1 against 2. I think it's nearly impossible in War Legends to play 1 against 2, probably because the supplies are rather limited. We can't build a lot of units, right? Because of how we percept the game, but also because we have a mobile game. If you have a lot of detailed units with a different behavior, it will just result you the lower FPS, obviously. So you have to limit yourself here. Yep, and this is why you usually can't win 1 against 2, even if you're an experienced player and you play against 2 beginners. You can try to rush one down, but if you don't rush, it's very difficult.
Forces are under attack.
Yep, Unicorn still defends rather fine. Well, obviously because Zdarova also tries to finish off Longway. If Zdarova would have applied all the pressure on Unicorn, maybe he would be able to kill him, but Longway would be helping, of course. Now Longway does not help, because he's busy with his own stuff. Anyway, he kills Baronov. he's about to cut these reinforcements of bikers. Paladin's not gonna retreat either.
Hero is dead.
And Zdarova is left with a few helicopters. Decided to build more of those. Puts them back to the Dwarven Forge for the free heal. All the guys have enough money. Oh, this is now an interesting move. Unicorn decided to go for the shipyard itself with the helicopters, but the blue team uses the gravity. And the helicopter was killed, even though the gravity kinda already ended, but the shot was shoot earlier, so probably because of that the damage was still count. Red team uses the snowstorm. Interesting decision, I'd say. Under the snowstorm, it reduces the... Why I always forget this word today? Resistances. It reduces the resistances. So bikers become even more effective against helicopters, which they are already very effective against. Well, it seems that blue team is finally about to kill Gunsight. Yeah, Gunsight taps off, and Zdarova taps off, and blue team struggled but secured their win, even though they've been under a lot of pressure. First 15 minutes, it seemed to me like it is almost impossible to win, but as Longway kept pressing Gunsight from the sea, and Unicorn kept defending from Zdarova, being X2 underleveled in rating, this finally leads to the victory for the blue team. So that was a great comeback. It's nice that we witnessed this game, and we're also gonna wrap it up here, so make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss the further videos. And that's it for today. My name is Kabi, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.